Hey there, I hope you've had an awesome day so far, and if not, I think the next 6 or 7 minutes is going to make it a little bit better. I'm just going to bring it. It's a message that radically changed my life, and I just want to share it in such a clear and positive way to you today because I know it'll destroy so much insecurity and self-doubt in your life. We're talking about your story, and today is the who part, the character part of a story, which is you. We're talking about what makes you valuable. And the first thing that I want to do is actually ask you about two people in your life. And the first person is, who is that person in your life that you just most enjoy spending time with? They are fun, they make you laugh, it's a great time. Who is that person? And the second person I want to ask you about is, who's the person that's had the most positive influence on your life? And I want you to think about those two people for just a second. And I know when I think about those two people in my life, what comes to mind is how much they loved me and cared about me. And the kind of sense of humor that they had, that I could crack them up and they were making me laugh and we just saw the world the same way. It was how good of a listener they were. Because when they could listen to me, I could share stories and parts of my life that I couldn't share with everybody else. And when you look at those things, that they're all things that come from within about who they were, and it had nothing to do with external things. And hear me for a second. Every day you and me are lied to, and we're told by advertising and sometimes social media that what makes us valuable as people is the kind of car that we have, and what we look like, and whether we have six-pack abs or not, the kind of job that we have, how much money we have in our bank account, all these external things. But I gotta tell you, it's a total load of crap. What makes us valuable comes from within, because when we get to our funeral, the things that people are gonna talk about is the kind of people that we were on the inside, who we were, not what we were. That's what makes us valuable. So I need to work towards those things, the real deep things that make me valuable, who I am, work on that more than just the external things. And the second thing I want to say is, every person I've ever met desires the same thing. We all desire significance. We want to be noticed. We want people to like us. We want to do stuff at work that people go, wow, he is really smart. We want significance. And even when I was a kid, I used to compete with my big brother to see who could get better grades. And in high school, I started playing tennis and got really good at it, because I wanted to be noticed for something. I wanted girls to go, wow, he's a really good tennis player, even though nobody cares about the tennis team. And later in life, we start doing things that are the same vein. We want to be noticed for things. We all desire significance. And because we desire that, we start to compete with people. And I really believe that we weren't created to compete in that area. I'm a big fan of competition. I've been in sports all my life. And I think it teaches so much about fitness and sportsmanship. I'm not talking that kind of competition. I'm not even talking trying to compete to get a job or a resume, that kind of I'm talking about competing for our value. We weren't designed to compete for that. Because if I'm designed to compete for that, then I'm trying to compete with others in order to bring them down and bring myself above them by what I have. And that is just messed up. I can't compete with people and connect with them at the same time. You've never seen people on an athletic field or basketball court competing and connecting. They're always fighting with each other to one-up each other. And I don't think we're designed to be like that. We're designed to connect with people. So my first point today is to shut down as much competition in your life. When you look at social media and you feel this urge to compete and get more likes and stuff like that, maybe you need to step back for a little bit, because we can't compare our lives to the highlight reels of everybody else's life. We got to shut that down and just rest in who we are. Shut down competition. And the second point I want to make, and I love this thought, I think that you've arrived in life if you can get to the point where you're comfortable in your own skin. And you're comfortable in your own skin if you can walk into a room of really successful and beautiful people and you feel the exact same way as if you'd walked into a room of homeless people. You don't feel greater or lesser than anybody. You're just yourself. And if you run into super rich, handsome guy, it doesn't matter, because you're you and your value doesn't change based on what the people around you are. You're just comfortable in your own skin. And the question is, how do we get there? Well, I brought a little illustration today. Say this is you, this glass of water. And if your water tank is full, that means that your value is full and you fully understand yourself as a person as having tremendous value. And if people pour into you and say nice things and it washes over you, it feels really good. If you get an advancement at work or you get more money, it feels good, but it doesn't really fill your value because you already know who you are. How do we get to this point? Well, I had seasons in my life where my glass was empty and I was trying to fill my value glass with relationships. And if I could get girls to like me, then it'd make me feel better. I would try to wear really fancy shoes. None of those things externally were designed to fill our value glass. We just are who we are. And the only point we can get there is if we were understanding who we were created to be. You see, in the last video I said that God created you for a purpose. And if God is real, I'm not going to make this super religious right now, but if God is real, then He created you with so much value too. And that can't change. It's just who you are. You know, in the grand scheme of human history, for thousands of years, there has never been another person that had the same talents as you, and personality, and look, and style. You're just you, and there never will be another you. And the world needs you because you're unique. And if that's true about you, that means that your value can never change. And you know, I don't want to value myself for anything that can be taken away from me. If I lose my car, my job, any external thing, if I lose that thing, I don't want it to affect how I see myself and my value, because that's not what made me valuable in the first place. It's because God made me valuable. And if I can rest in that and fully understand that I am unique as who He made me to be, then nothing else really matters. My glass is full. I want to get more and more understanding of that. And we'll get to that later on in this website. I don't want to go there too much right now, but I do want to say, just understand your value, because God created you so amazing and so unique. I really encourage you to check out the next chapter of our Your Story series tomorrow. And I love you guys. We'll see you next time.